Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. I mean, it has been a minute since I've put a video out for you to show you what's going on around here. I've been super busy, as we all are, right? But I did want to share with you some things that I've been doing and some beauty that I can still find here in our gardens on, I believe today's November 14th. And we've still got flowers coming along. So come with me, let's have a chat about busy lives and fitting gardening in and finding beauty wherever you are. Now I know I'm not the only person who has a busy calendar. I know that you have a lot of things that you juggle too, whether it's your job, your family, your housework, your garden, other hobbies that you might have, other obligations that you might have. And so things come crashing together, and sometimes the garden is the thing that you have to let drop. So here we are, and it's November 14th already. I have no idea where the time went since the last video that I made for you, but here we are. Thank you for joining me here today. Now I'm sitting out here on my front porch and I'm putting this view in the back of me because I wanted to make the point that depending on where you live, your season might not be over yet. We're here in Baltimore, which is Zone 7, but like many other parts of the country, we're having different weather than we normally have. I believe we've gotten down to 32 degrees or 0 Celsius once this season so far, and that was right on time actually, because our first frost average is November 1st, and I think that night did come. If not on the 1st, then certainly right around the 1st. But since then, we have not been cold. We've had highs in the 70s. Sometimes in the early week of November, we've had very little rain, so we're kind of in a drought condition. And so things are kind of weird in the garden. We're here in the middle of November. I still have my geraniums flowering beautifully on the front porch. I have still, this is black and blue salvia over there, and it is flowering like gangbusters. I still had some things on the roses. So, but at the same time, we've got the gorgeous fall foliage colors happening. So everything is kind of all coming together. Everything is a delightful, surprising mix of late summer things and early fall things, even mid-fall things. Most of the walnuts have now dropped, so we can safely be outside without being pelted on the head with those hard walnuts. I'm just kind of rambling at this point. Thanks for hanging out with me. But I did want to take you on a tour around the garden and show you some of the beautiful things that I found today. I took this video out the front window of our sunroom because I was captivated by the morning light on the red maple across the street and the gold maple leaves that we had in our own side yard. And then I got to looking out all of our windows, especially here in the back of the house. This is our driveway. Most of the leaves have fallen. In the backyard, oh, sorry about the dirty kitchen window, but oh my gosh, the trees in the backyard are just so beautiful. I couldn't help it. So I went outside and I just started to look around. The fall foliage this season is really vibrant. It's mostly gone, I would say, but we have a lot of maples still hanging on. Here in the backyard again, the maple tree has green, yellow, gold, orange, red, scarlet, and brown, all on the same tree. Here's one of my favorite hydrangeas showing her beautiful color. And some other hydrangeas and other parts of the garden looking very fallish. The lawn is looking very fallish as well. I planted some zinnias from seed at the end of July, and they're blooming beautifully. Also, these foxgloves have put on a second flush of bloom. I've got buds on all of those. And I think it's just a happy surprise. I came home from my Sweet Adelines convention to find that I have straw flowers, zinnias, and foxgloves blooming with a carpet of red maple leaves underneath. And I think it's just beautiful, even if it is a little messy. Here's my Miracle Horizons. Is that the name of it? Iris. This is a double blooming iris, a yellow one, and it's just absolutely blooming its head off. I love it. I still have sun gold cherry tomatoes on my vines, and they're beautifully tasty and wonderful. This is the first ageratum bloom that I've gotten off of the ones that I grew from seed this year. Took their sweet time, but they're sweet. And this is the straw flower. It's such a pretty, bright, vibrant color. I'll be taking these inside and using them as dried flowers. And there's Hannah, looking for the rabbits in the garden. She thinks it's her job to flush them out and keep them away. She does a fairly good job of it, but let's just say she's not a hunter. All right, here's my pathway down behind the tomato plants. I mean, who's going to argue with sun gold tomatoes in their plump, ripe, juicy goodness on November 14th? There's nothing wrong with that in my book. I like the way the maple leaves get caught up on there and kind of decorate the tomato plants. These blush tomatoes, I'm surprised at how many green ones there still are. And then in amongst here, I have a cup and saucer vine that is growing, and I found a blossom today. In my experience, those blossoms last for one day, so hopefully you get to see them. And if you don't get out there to see them, then you've missed it. More green tomatoes. It's probably time to take these down, but I mean, they're still growing, so why not? Here's some more foxgloves. That's the same type of foxglove that are in the tiered beds, and they're just blooming their little happy heads off. Now this is a bit, fall woodland. We'll call it a woodland garden at the moment. Hannah's off looking at the squirrels. But let's go back here behind this arbor and just look at things. Yeah, there's some leaves down, but oh well, too bad. The colors back here are beautiful. Look at this pyracantha. This is a Yukon something, Yukon gold, Yukon something. Pyracantha, those are those orange berries in the back, also called firethorn. But in the front here, this is my twist and shout hydrangea that has the autumn joy sedum at the base, and then lots of the hydrangea blossoms. Some newer ones, some older ones, lots of beautiful color. Now, some people might not think that orange berries match up with this purple and pink hydrangea, but I say if it's natural, it works. I'm going to let it go that way. My can rose got too tall. I haven't yet gotten around to transplanting it, and at this point, I'll probably do it in the spring, not in the fall. And down here, I have some more feverfew. On November 14th, feverfew blooming. That's crazy talk. This is my proudberry coralberry. Most of the berries are white. Some of them are pink. They're all different sizes also. I think it's kind of an interesting look. I think it probably would do better if it were in more sun. I don't really have more sun to offer it, so this is as good as it gets in my garden, and I'll take it. And back along the fence there, I've got 3 Arctic Fire red twig dogwoods, and I'll be harvesting those for holiday decorations soon. Cherokee Princess dogwood with her fall foliage, and then above that, another maple in its glorious color, ranging from green all the way through to brown and all the oranges and reds and yellows in between. So yeah, I mean, there's some cleanup work to be done, but it's looking pretty good. I'm finding beauty everywhere. Now, I did put in a fall garden. I had 16 broccoli plants, 4 cauliflowers, 8 kales, and some other brassica type plants. I also planted seeds of radishes and lettuces and beets, and then I covered them with insect netting, but it looks like either I blocked in some cabbage worms or there are so many snails and earwigs in my soil, they just ate every single plant, so nothing to show there. Now my pepper plants are still here. They haven't been frozen out yet. And these are the sweet little snacking peppers. They're just lovely and crunchy and sweet and good, and I love them. Now my netting has fallen down here, but again, there's evidence of my brassicas just being totally eaten. And the courtyard garden, which I was going to be turning into an herb garden, I didn't make it very far, but that's okay. Where have I been? Well, let's see. I've been working in Sweet Adelines. I'm a full-time volunteer for the Sweet Adelines International Organization. I'm on their International Board of Directors. I'm on several committees and task forces for that. I also sing in a chorus, Harbor City Music Company show chorus, and that chorus just went to the Sweet Adelines International Convention and Competition, where we placed 3rd in the world of Women's Barbershop in Sweet Adelines International. So we're very proud of that accomplishment, but that of course took a lot of preparation time, a lot of advance work, rehearsals and so forth, and then also a whole week on site in Louisville, Kentucky recently. I also direct a small chorus in Annapolis called the Annapolis Blend, and as you know, being the leader of a group like that takes a lot of planning, a lot of effort, a lot of work, a lot of thinking and about what to do and talking to your members and keeping members engaged and all of that. So that takes up some time. I also have been traveling. We went out to Minnesota to visit our kids, and we've been up to Pennsylvania once or twice this year. Let's see what else. Master gardening. I joined and went through the Master Gardener training program this past spring semester, and I did all of my volunteer hours over the summer. Now that program, I'm pretty much wrapped up. I could still volunteer a little bit if I wanted to, but in general, the year for Master Gardening is just about over. And then I will be receiving my certificate next March at a ceremony that they have every spring in the March timeframe. What else have I been doing? Oh, I got COVID, so I was down and out with that for a little bit. I also had a different kind of a chest cold earlier that took me down for a while. And you know what else? I started another hobby because I need hobbies like I need a hole in the head. But I got into genealogy a little bit. So I've been working on my family tree. I have been really learning about how to do genealogy research, and I have been spending a lot of my free time at my computer doing genealogy instead of editing videos. So you guys suffer for that, but I'm sorry, but it's really fun and interesting. Do you do any genealogy work? Let me know in the comment section if you do that and how it's going for you. Anyway, all of that to say that it has been a busy year, and I am grateful and very happy with all of the things that I have in my life that keep me busy and keep me connected to my community, keep me connected to my family, keep me connected to my garden, and keep me whole. You know, we all need to be fulfilling ourselves and taking care of ourselves, making sure that we are happy in what we're doing. And I certainly am. And while I haven't had a whole lot of time to be in the garden in the last month or two, views like this just make me happy. I mean, it's beautiful. Let's take a look down the shrub border. Here is the serviceberry. This is the autumn brilliance that I planted a little midsummer, I would say. The dahlias are pretty much finished, but they haven't died back yet. They're just not blooming anymore. Here is this is a winterberry shrub that I put in. I filmed it. I just didn't get a chance to edit the film. But I've got that beautiful red winterberry. That's a berry heavy one. And then this is a beautyberry. Now, this probably wants to get more sun. It would be covered with more of these beautiful out of focus purple berries if it were in more full sun. But as it is, it's still, if I could just get it to focus. There we go. It is got some beautiful purple berries on it, and those will persist until the birds come. Over here on the front border, the monkshood is at the tail end of its glorious, beautiful blooms. Such a bright, beautiful purple. And my blue mist shrub is finished as well, but it was pretty. Miss Kim Lilac will come back next spring. Over here we've got some Agastache, and this fairy rose is still blooming. Look at the beautiful blossoms on this rose bush. Now I do think the deer are eating some of them, but they didn't get that spray of them, did they? The colors in the fall garden are so pretty with all the oranges and golds and pinks and reds and green and brown. I think it's just a beautiful thing. And the Gomphrena, this is the Proven Winners Gomphrena. What's it called? I forget. But it has just gone gangbusters and still going strong. And then there are my geraniums up on the front porch as well. And they're doing really well too. Do you remember when I got this Diamond Mountain Euphorbia at an end of summer sale? It is still just going gangbusters, as are these geraniums, and they're so bright and wonderful. I'm just loving it. Now, I don't have drip irrigation turned on anymore. I've turned it off for the season because of the threat of freezing. So these are just living on whatever rain they're getting, which isn't a whole lot, but I think they're doing really well. And I don't mind that hot pink in these fall colors. Now coming around to the other side of the front garden, this is my black and blue salvia, and it has just so many blossoms still on it. And let's take a look at this fairy rose bush. The deer haven't eaten this one as much as it did the one on the north side, and so there are lots of sprays of these beautiful miniature pink multi-petaled rose flowers, and it's just lovely. Yeah, everything is a little messy, but it's okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I am so grateful for all of the beauty I have here, for all of the opportunity that I have in my life to connect with myself, with my family, and with my friends and community. And I am so grateful for you as well. I hope that you're enjoying a wonderful autumn if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. I hope you're enjoying a wonderful springtime if you're down under. And I hope I'll be back in touch with you fairly soon with some more videos. I hope. We'll see. Take care, friends.